Hey guys, so I'm going to be showing you some tricks and tips today. These are things that I've learned in the past 5 years of working with Ableton and the things that I enjoy most. You'll hear it all over my Glide productions. And the first one is putting a MIDI arpeggiator with a delay on a MIDI chord. So I'm going to show you what it sounds like when it's just dry. So this is, I just made an F sharp major chord, right? Pretty simple. However, when I process it through this arpeggiator and this 16th note delay, you get, and there's a lot of different kinds of ways to go about, and there's a lot of different ways you can go about this. You know, here you have all your controls with the arpeggiator. So if you want it to be faster, it's at 64ths. You know, it can get pretty crazy, but the steps here is what's going to dictate how high it goes. And it can get pretty out there. So if you're making a droney track or something that's really, really trippy, let me just put a limiter on here so you can catch it. It can get pretty crazy. And I think that's just like a really, really cool note to add in context, because also you can add some reverb to it to give a bit more spatialness. Another really cool effect that I found is reversing the reverb on vocals and kind of having it make this creepy build up into it. So I have this vocal that I recorded of Tamar Alviar, and that's like straight. You know, we only have the reverb and this EQ on it, but I kind of want it to ease in. So what I do is I reverse this track, and then I bring it into, I change the input of this other audio track to her vocals. So when it records, when I push record, it's going to be recording this. And when I record it, it's going to be actually recording, you'll see the reverb as well. So. So now when we take this track and we reverse that, we have that creepy reverse reverb. Right? Because it's getting all the reverb that happened after the fact. A couple years ago that another producer showed me was gating a conversation with a hi-hat loop. And so without it being gated, this is kind of what's going on. We have the hi-hat and the conversation. ¿Por qué no vamos juntos? Tú y yo solo. La deriva. Cuesta de sol. En la cuesta del sol. Right? But when I gate it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to side chain the hi-hat to the conversation, and you get this. ¿Por qué no vamos juntos? Oops. And you get this. ¿Por qué no vamos juntos? Tú y yo solo. La deriva. Cuesta de sol. En la cuesta del sol. So you'd have to play with the attack and the release a little bit, but depending on, you know, what it calls for, sometimes I like to add a little bit of ambience in the main hall here. So I'll take the wet down, the dry and wet down to about 10, so it's not too strong. Right? Or even more exciting is obviously the delay or the echo that you can put on it. And it can get quite rhythmic. Like if you're setting up a groove and you have it syncopated, you know, you have the left and the right synced here. You can do one at quarter notes and one at half notes. So the sample box here, you have your note box, and then you have your envelope box. And what the envelope box does when you click on it is you're able to actually get into the envelope here and change it quite a bit. And something I love doing is going on to MIDI control and then pitch, And then you're able to actually kind of have a slow down record. And then last but not least, I want to show you what happens when you put a tremolo on the return track. And so, for example, let's just bring in some claps here. And so by itself, obviously sending the reverb to the clap, you get reverb clap. But if you want to put a tremolo on it, you have a little bit more of an interesting reverb. And yeah, that's going to be the first round of the tricks and tips.